productive morning routine for men is a simple way to keep us happy, productive, effective, and getting lots of stuff done. I mean, ask most men what they love to do, and they love to feel successful. They love to feel accomplished. They love to feel like they're going the right direction. And starting the day that way is powerful. Now, a lot of men know this, and a lot of men know that they would be well served to have a powerful morning routine. But there's one habit that just seems to hold so many of us back. And despite knowing better, it's just so easy to slip into. And it affects women and men alike. But today I'm going to talk specifically about men. And that habit, if you haven't guessed it already, is scrolling social media first thing in the morning. And when it comes to building a productive morning routine, especially for men, using social media first thing is extremely destructive because it destroys our confidence in ourselves, especially when we know it's something we shouldn't be doing. We know it's not part of a productive routine. It's not in line with our goals, but we do it anyways. So it destroys our confidence, and it helps us also to procrastinate getting out of bed, which also destroys our confidence. And so in this video, I want to talk about how you can better understand why you're using social media and stop using social media first thing in the morning for good. And so the first thing that I want to share with you that you need to understand here is when we look at a habit that's not helpful, and I'm going to use the word addictive here. I use the word addictive for any habit that's not serving us, but that we're still doing. Well, the caveat is it actually is serving us. And most times the first place we go when we look at an unhelpful or addictive habit is we label that habit as bad. That's a bad habit. It's dumb. I shouldn't be doing it. I'm going to quit tomorrow. But the problem with that is it doesn't look at the habit from a human behavioral standpoint. And from a human behavioral standpoint, this habit is bringing us value. This behavior is doing something for us. It's solving a problem. And if it wasn't solving a problem, we wouldn't do it. And so the first question that you need to ask yourself before you eliminate any addictive habit, not just social media, is what purpose does it solve? What value am I getting from doing this habit? And if we look at scrolling on your phone on social media, it's pretty obvious that at least one of the main benefits is it gives us a hit of dopamine first thing in the morning. And for most of us, myself included, first thing in the morning is a time where when I first wake up and I'm laying in bed there, my alarm's going off, some of the first thoughts that come into my head are, what am I doing? I need to turn that thing off and get back to sleep. I'm exhausted. That's the first few seconds I have when I open my eyes. And for a lot of people, it's the same. And so when you're in that moment, all you want is comfort. What's comfort is a quick hit of dopamine. And so reaching over to your phone, you've already got it in your hand because you're turning off your alarm. You're laying there cozy in bed. You're barely thinking, what's the next thing to do is, I need to get up. I need to get up. Oh, I need some way to get up. What will give me energy? Social media. I know I can get a little hit of energy by going on social media and scrolling. And so that's what it's giving us. It's giving us energy, and it's helping solve that problem of first thing in the morning being exhausted. So that's part one, understanding the value. Now that we've understood the value of what this habit is bringing us, we can start to look at creating a solution. Okay, so now for creating a solution, there's three main pieces to getting motivated for the solution that we need to look at. And if we can understand these three things, then we can set up some alternative behaviors or routine that we can actually stick with, as opposed to something that we try for a couple days and then totally burn out from. So the first thing is we need to know what to do. And if you don't have a routine, if you don't have a powerful morning routine that you've already organized and set up, then automatically you're going to go to the social media. There's no alternative to choose from. Knowing that I should have a good routine and having an actual routine to do are two very separate things. When we don't feel clear on what the next step is, we default to old patterns. And so if you're waiting to feel inspired in the morning, you're hoping that you're just gonna have inspiration hit you and you're gonna know what to do and you're gonna know the perfect morning routine, your day's gonna go great, you're probably gonna be waiting a long time. If you're watching this video, maybe you have been, and that's okay. Now you know better though. What you need is to have a clear plan, a clear step to take in the morning when you're feeling groggy and laying in bed. The second challenge that you need to address, or the second behavioral element here to address, is maybe you do know what to do. You have a morning routine set up. You know that maybe breath work in the morning is how you want to start your morning, or going for a run, but it's just too difficult. It just takes too much energy. And you're sitting there in bed in the morning and you start to think about, oh, what can I do to wake up and to feel better? Oh yeah, I can go for a run, or I could go do that breath work. but you just feel that just feels a million miles away. I don't have the energy for that. It's just too much. It's too difficult. Well, sometimes what people do when this happens is they decide to force themselves through it. So I'm gonna make myself do it. And in a small percentage of cases, that can work. But it only works when the difficulty level is in the sweet spot. And if it's too difficult, what ends up happening is you either give up on it, you think about it, and you decide, no, I'm gonna reach for my phone and scroll on social media, or you decide, okay, I'm gonna do it. I can do this. I'm gonna make myself do it. You use up all the willpower that you've got and you force yourself to do it and you get out there. And if you like it enough, if it gives you enough of a boost, you might be able to keep that habit going. But a lot of times what happens instead is men are already feeling burnt out. They're working long hours. They're not feeling appreciated. It feels like there's a landslide of tasks in their life and they're on the bottom end of it and they can't breathe. And so they use what little bit of willpower they have left to do this run because they think it's supposed to help them. They don't even end up feeling a benefit because they're so miserable the whole time doing it because it sucks and they're not used to it. And then they maybe do it for a couple days and then they stop. That's not what I want for you. And so instead, an alternative solution is make it easy. Make it easier to do your morning routine. So if you have a morning routine already, you know what you want to do, my invitation is to make it easier. For example, if your goal is first thing in the morning to go for a run, if that's how you want to start your morning, then what if you make your goal that you're going to put on your running shoes, your running clothes, and step outside? Because if you do that and you can allow yourself to feel a sense of accomplishment and you do that for a couple of days, it's not going to be long before you decide, okay, I'm going to at least run a block or 2 blocks or 5 blocks or 10 blocks, and then it can escalate. Remember, it's way easier to grow a habit than it is to start a habit. So make it easier on yourself. Just find your edge. And we men, we struggle with this. We're either not trying at all or we're doing it the biggest, the hardest, the baddest, the fastest that anyone has ever seen. And our ego gets in the way. And my invitation to you is just try to be really honest with yourself about what your edge is. What do you really believe that you can do? Aim for just on the edge of that, just past your edge. And that's gonna set you up for success and starting a habit that you can build on. And so by doing this, in the first week, you might feel a little, some part you might feel like this is silly, that isn't that impactful. But by a month, by 2 months, by 3 months, you're gonna be in a completely different position. You're gonna be potentially a consistent runner, as opposed to what's been happening lately for most people is they just see the cycle repeat of try something, fall off the wagon, try something, fall off the wagon, and they never really get past the start line. All right, now the third behavioral element that we're gonna look at to help make it easy to not go on social media is the opposite of what I just said. We're gonna make it hard. What do I mean by that? I mean specifically, we're gonna make using social media challenging or difficult. So when we wake up in the morning, we've already unpacked this scenario. Most of us are feeling groggy, we're tired, our brain power is next to zero, our willpower is next to zero, barely know what's going on. And at this time, our whole body is primed for easy. Give me easy, show me easy, help me feel better. And one of the easiest ways to do that is to go back to sleep. But we've taken away that option from ourselves because we've decided, okay, we're supposed to get up. So then the next easiest thing is to use social media. We need to stop that. We need to make social media not the easiest thing to do, not the easiest way to get a dopamine hit. And so instead, what we're gonna do is a simple habit. I've talked about this in other videos. It is such a powerful habit for so many reasons, and it's so simple, but we're gonna make sure that our phone is on the other side of the room. And there's a few additional habits that can go with this, and there's some alternatives that you can use, but the best, I'm gonna start with the best, is have your phone at least on the other side of your room. What does this do? Well, this is a bit of a double whammy effect because one, it means that if you want to use social media, you have to now get out of bed. And so by getting out of bed, you're going to get a hit of dopamine because you're moving in the direction of your goals, which is being up, being productive, being focused. And so by taking a step in the direction of your goals, you're already going to be feeling a little bit better. You're going to be a little bit more with it. You're going to be a little bit more awake, and it's going to be easier to stay out of bed as well. So 2 bonuses here. One, it's getting you moving in the direction of your morning routine. It's getting you awake, it's getting you up, and it's getting you a dopamine boost and some energy. And the second thing is it's making it harder to go on social media. It's making it more of a challenge because you have to go across the room. You have to actually go get your phone to go on social media. And so we've eliminated this entire situation of laying in bed, being so tired, wanting to go back to sleep, deciding not to go back to sleep, cutting off that exit route for ourselves, and then wanting to go on social media. We've eliminated that situation completely, unless you decide to go crawl back into bed with your phone, in which case that's a separate video to address that. But if you can just do that, you're gonna be in a way better place, and every single morning is gonna be easier for you and require less willpower to not go on social media first thing. And some other ideas that you can do to make this habit even more powerful is you can make the actual social media apps harder to access. And so you can, for example, make sure, simple one, close them before you go to bed. Make that part of your evening routine, closing all the social media apps. So when you open your phone or you unlock it, the first thing you're seeing is not these social media apps that are already trying to grab your attention. The second layer is you could put those social media apps into folders on your phone. So it's actually a little bit harder to go get them. The third thing that you could do is you can actually delete them and just know that, okay, when I want to use social media, I'm just going to install the app real quick and go on and use it. All these are designed to just make it easier to do what you want to do and make it more difficult to use the social media. If you want to learn more about this, 2 great books on it, Atomic Habits by James Clear, if you haven't read it, and Tiny Habits by BJ Fogg. Really great books on human behavior and understanding your own. But with these cliff notes, hopefully you have what it takes to have a more productive morning routine. Either if you are a man, it's a more productive morning routine for you, or if you know a man, love a man, and want to support him, you can help him have a more productive morning routine. That is everything for today. Hope that's super helpful. And in the next video, I'm going to talk a bit more about what that productive morning routine could look like. And I'm going to give some examples. I've been running a morning routine challenge for 3 years live, and I've learned a lot about morning routines. And I've also been waking up at 5 a.m. almost every day for the last 3 or 4 years. So I've had a lot of experience myself, and I've had a lot of struggles, and I'm not naturally a morning person. So we'll talk more about that. Hopefully, after watching this video, you now have a different perspective on your social media habit in the morning. One, you understand the value that it brings you rather than just looking at it as a bad habit. You're seeing that it actually is doing something for you. 2, you've got more clarity on the dangerous situation of what it means to be laying in bed, super tired, looking for energy, and your phone being the easiest way to get it. 3, you've learned 3 different concepts for what it takes to be motivated to do something, or in this case, not do something. And you've got these 3 new opportunities to improve your behavior flow to make waking up in a productive, energetic way easier than scrolling on your phone. Hope that helps, and let me know in the comments below if you have any questions about your morning routine, your social media use. Happy to engage, and it would let me know that this was valuable for someone, which encourages me to keep doing it. And if you like this video, there's gonna be a part 2 coming where I am going to dig deeper into what an ideal morning routine actually looks like. And so this was focused on one of the most destructive morning routine behaviors and getting rid of those. The next video is gonna be focused on what actually should I do? What does make a great morning routine? And I'm gonna provide some ideas and strategies based on 3 years of running the 5 a.m. challenge myself and 4 years of my own 5 a.m. wake ups and a lot of trials and tribulations. Leave a comment below, let me know what stood out to you in this video. And if you have any questions about your morning routine or your social media habit, I would love to help. And so if you drop a comment below, I can reply and give you some extra support. Other than that, hope you have a great day and a great morning. Cheers.